Good evening, everybody. I'm Go Via Go Home. Welcome to Rail Talk Live. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've done a Saturday night show, but I felt that I wanted to. What we do typically on Rail Talk Live is we normally build kits. We will do some graffiti, some weathering, maybe work on the layout. Today, I'm going to build a kit. Now, this is not a kit that you can get from Walthers. It's definitely not a kit that you can get from ITLA or any other fine scale kit building company. It's actually something I built myself because I want to do some scratch building. Typically, when you're building something for your layout and you're trying to do the prototypical thing, you're trying to incorporate buildings that you would find around the general area that you're modeling, you'll find that not a lot of companies make every single type of building, and it's unfortunate. But I'm gonna make some lemonade out of lemons, with something like this here. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, I'm currently constructing Mac Yard, which is one of three massive yards in the Greater Toronto Area, southern Ontario. And with Mac Yard, of course, it's CN, which I love. It's one of the main ones that I run. And I like to look at the area and see, besides the track, because your layout is not just track and wiring and whatnot. There's a lot of land. It goes up and down, and there's also a lot of buildings and whatnot as well. So I was looking around the area, and I saw this big building. And when you go to the Google Earth or whatever, I found out that it's the CN administration building. And included in this building, there's also a tower, which is very important if you have a large yard, because they have to oversee everything that's going on in the yard. So it's always important to include a tower somewhere. So I'm like, perfect. I'll make it a backdrop building, and I'll go from there. Right? There's some room at the back. It doesn't have to be massive. It's quite a lengthy building. Might be about 3 feet long, I think, in total. But I've got about 4 or 5 feet to cover, so it should be okay. So of course nobody makes this building, and that's just my luck, right? Typically, when I do a scratch build, I end up taking pre-existing kits and then just mashing them together, or I'll paint it differently than what shows on the box to kind of represent or kind of give you the idea of, this is what you're looking at. You've probably seen this before in this area, and people stop and say, "Oh yeah, I've seen that before." So that's what I'm trying to do. But before I get into it, before I show you what I'm working on, of course, I do want to take a moment to say hi to everybody who did take the time to show up tonight. It's Saturday night. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate you. So we do want to give shout outs to Awesome Possum, Brad, who was the first one here. He gets the Timbits tonight. I'm handing out Timbits left, right, and center, guys. It's a Canadian thing. Todd, how's it going, Todd? And Brian Ferguson, and Darren, and Floyd, how's it going? Sparky 107 Almar, and was it? Is there more? I'm seeing a lot of the same. Oh, Trackside Mike, how's it going, Trackside Mike? I heard he was working on his layout all day. He's yet to show me pictures though. Send pictures, Mike. And Anthony Borden, how's it going, guys? Welcome, welcome. Plenty of room. Pull up a seat. Hopefully, you have a cold beverage. BN Ironwood, how's it going? Now, while I have you, Sparky 107, he did put out a video earlier on today about a Canadian meet and greet. Now, the last several years, he's done them down in the States, and they're always well planned out. And there's lots of fun. And it's usually a several day thing, right? This year he's planning to do a Canadian one. So that doesn't mean you American guys are left out. You just got to come north of the border. Don't worry, it's not a trick, but you might stay after you taste the maple syrup. Just saying. Uh, but basically, it's going to be August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The 22nd being the day where a lot of people will meet up, like the meet and greet part of it, and then there's a couple of days of festivities that include. I'm going to try to list them all off here. Okay, so possibly, and most of it, because I don't know how much of it is set in stone, but possibly a tour of Ontario Southland Railway shops. We get to go to Otter Valley, which one of the biggest train stores in Canada. And don't worry, your U.S. money is still good here. And then let's see, there's Little Canada. Bernard from Mini Prints, he's down in Toronto as well. And there'll be a meetup at Mini headquarters. And then let's see, there's also, what's the name of the town with the elephant that got hit by a train? Say it. Refresh my memory. With the elephant. I thought someone was going to put it. St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay, St. Thomas. Thank you. I would not have been able to sleep tonight. Yeah, there's I think it's a station or a yard that's in St. Thomas. So there's a museum there. And there's also, how bad am I doing right now, Sparky? I think I listed a bunch of it. I know that there's a dinner, a 3-course meal, mind you, on a moving passenger car. I'm assuming it's a dining car, as well. And like this is over the course of from the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, Sparky says, well, he's going to have his layout open so that you can go and run trains on his layout as well. So anyways, so yeah, make sure you go watch the video earlier because it has a lot more detail than what I'm giving you. But yeah, he'll want to know if you do plan to come because there's about 40 spots for the dining car experience. And of course, that will fill up quick. So make sure you get your tickets, get all the info from Sparky, let him know you're going, and then that way you don't miss out and you get to join in the fun. Waterloo Central Railroad ride, shop tour, and diner on a moving train. Yep. 42 seats. Okay. I thought it was 42, but then you needed 2. So I said 40. Unless it's 44, and then 2 seats for you, and then it's 42 that's left. I wasn't sure on the math there. Either way, go watch this video, and obviously put your name in the hat to join in. And also, like I'll probably be down in the area as well, so I'll be joining in. I'm not sure of. Okay, yeah, so it's 40 seats. Okay, 40. I'll be down there as well, so you can come hang out, and it'll be a good time. So yeah, so back to the build. So this is my kit. So it's probably the least expensive kit I've ever purchased because it cost $2, and it was just a sheet of foam core board. And now it's not the final product, but I do want to make a mock-up of it first before I actually do the real one. And I'm just going to turn the camera around so you can see me work and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. It's a lot easier that way. You don't want to stare at my face the entire time here. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, so this is, usually when you're doing a kit, there's a main part to it. And the main part to this kit centers around the tower. Now, I was very fortunate that I had Bubs find this for me. This is from a Keebury kit that we established. I think Dave Hughes mentioned it to me first. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is the tower from that Keebury kit. And he found this at a local shop for $15. Mind you, there was the rest of the building, but I totally broke it off because I didn't want that part of the building. I just wanted this. I'm not going to be able to scratch build this. I'm not that good. But it works, you know. Whoop, roof comes off and whatnot. But from this, what I did was I built walls, basically. That's all it is. Now, one of the things you got to do when you're scratch building, especially something this big, if you're trying to make it prototypical, you want to draw it out and you want to get measurements. So my portions are probably way off here because I just drew the overall shape of it, but not in accordance with the size. So this is the front. This will be facing the tracks, which are right here. And that's going to be the wall up there. What I did was I went on Google Earth, and when you go into the satellite view, it allows you to click, let's say, this area of the building, and then this area of the building. And then it gives you a rough estimate in meters. And when you calculate it out, right, because I've got an app here, and I'm going to show you the app because it's very important. Every modeler should have this. And you probably can't even see that because it's so bright. So hang on, turn the brightness down. Can you see it? Okay, you can kind of see that now. Kind of. Okay, so this is the Woodland Scenics Scale app. It allows you to choose what scale you want it represented in. You can choose the measurement, like what type of measurement you're converting. So in this case, it comes up as meters in Google Earth. So I'd click into here and I'd type, let's say for example, 17.56 meters. Okay. And then we want that in HO scale. And it comes up as 7.946 inches. Now you can also change this as well, right? Centimeters, feet, yard, meter, whatever. But I convert it to inches because it's a lot easier with a ruler, right? Hey, Eminem, how's it going? By the way, there was a wellness check for you earlier. Mark came by my house to pick up a box that James left here like 2 weeks ago. And I'm really hoping it's a glitter bomb. We'll find out Thursday, I guess, if it is a glitter bomb. And I'm sure he'll keep his vacuum handy just in case. So basically, that's how I measure it out. And I had to do this for every single wall. And, I measure from here to here, here to here, here to here, all the way over here, and then back. And then I wanted to figure out how far from the wall I want the whole building to be as well. And I got all my measurements. So that's good. So then what I had to do was I took my piece of foam core board, which is only $2. And you can see it's almost like cardstock. And then there's foam in between. Very handy, very inexpensive, and very good for making, I've made buildings out of this before, and then I've just surfaced it. But what I'm going to do with this, I have to do a little bit more than just surface it, just because of the way that the building looks. But for now, what I'll be doing is I'll be making a 3D sample of this building. So these are the depth from the front wall to the back wall. And these are the two front pieces. And then I've got a whole tower right here. And I think I'll do the tower first because it looks really cool when you put that piece on top. I'm just waiting for my hot glue to heat up here. And we're going to construct this whole thing. And I have the roof for it as well. I've already made the roof. That way it gives it a bit more stability. And I think this will be quite a fun project. Now, I also had to measure it out based off of the thickness here. So when I attach them, you'll be looking at it like this, and you won't see the foam on the sides, where if you see here, you can kind of see the foam. But I wanted it to look a little bit more solid. I'm just going to turn this up a little bit. There we go. You can kind of see it'll basically be like that. So yeah, I've done this with a couple of buildings in the past. I built the North Bay maintenance shop building out of this. It was pretty fun to do, and it's a lightweight building, but it's such a weird shape, right? So I'm hoping with this one being a bit more shallow, I guess you could say, that it holds up a bit more. Where is the CN Tower in real life? So it's not the CN Tower. This is the administration building, and it is in Mac Yard. So if you Google Mac Yard and you look for Highway 7 that goes right over top of it, it's just off to the side of Highway 7, right close to the tracks. Hey, John, how's it going? So I'm just, I'm going to try to do this. Hopefully it works. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll be fine, but. And so all these are measured to scale. With a glass top like an airport? Yeah, it has, well, this is the control tower. And this is from a Keebri kit. Kiel in Highway 7? Kiel, I don't know where Kiel is. It might be near Kiel, I think so. But yeah, the Highway 7 goes right over one end at Mac Yard. It's like the bottom of the yard. Also, if you Google Mac Yard, you see a couple of pictures of this building as well. So first and foremost, I'm going to pin this along here a little bit. I want to make sure this whole thing is square and flat. James, can I sleep under your layout? Hey, Chris, there's a German company that makes the building that you showed the other day, the tower. Yeah, it's Keebri. Keebri makes this kit here. I think somebody beat you to the punch with that. But yeah, no, good, thank you. Because the people got to know. I know that Mike, it was painful for Mike to watch me break the kit because he wants one. I was very fortunate that Bubs was at the right place at the right time. It's another company. So there's another one? Well, that's the thing, right? There's a lot of these towers. I saw one that Mark would absolutely love, but it was by Lifelike. And it said Santa Fe on it. It had the Santa Fe logo on it. But yeah, it was a little different. It looked more like a radio tower. John says scratch build is a great idea, and it'll fit the space much better. Well, for these companies that don't make every single kit, right? Like, I'd love if, let's say, ITLA did this kit. The only problem is it would be like $500, and well, how much of it will I be able to use, right? Like, I would love to put the full thing on, but it probably wouldn't all fit. So, what is everybody else working on right now? Because it surely can't be just me working on stuff. Mark, you still working on that Taco Bell? Digestion. He's working on trying to digest the Taco Bell. Oh, okay, okay. Rail artist, how's it going? Working on staying awake. You know it. And Mike is working on the layout still. That's a full day for you, Mike. Full 8 hours. Hopefully you have your helix done by now. ITLA makes a smaller building similar to the John and Cherry Street towers in Toronto. Ah, nice. Okay, yeah, Trackside Mike is working on his SD50. Right on. Brian is painting fire hydrants. Cool. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people, not only do they like to watch, but they also like to work on things while they watch. And that's totally cool because a lot of people like the background noise, you know, being my voice. I never thought I'd be a background noise in somebody's home, but here we are. John is working on 2 scrap gondolas. Nice. The company is called, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, Ahugan, and they sell it in Canada. Oh, neat. Where's the link? Where's the link? What? Oh, do you want to join? Mike, you want to join me up here? It's like having company while you work. No, it's... Don't get excited, Mike. Don't get Chris excited. So take a look at this. So what I did here with the top of the building, because I cut both of these wall pieces here to this height, and then I notched it out. And what I did to notch it out was I held this piece up to the original wall section for this. And all you gotta do is basically sit that on top of there, and you got yourself a tower. Now, even when you look at the picture, there's a space right behind this anyway, so that works out. And the wall there blocks it in, so that's cool. So this is really looking looking good so far, I think. So I'm going to take that off because I got to do the back wall now. And this will basically lock this whole thing in. Now you always want to make sure you use a sharp knife to cut this, because if you're using a dull knife, what it does is it just pushes everything down and it doesn't give you like a sharp edge, right? Like that looks super sharp. Thanks, Anthony. I try, you know. I like building kits. I like doing stuff like this. So I put a bit more TLC into stuff like this, you know? Also, with the fact that like my yard is at that point where I'm almost done the track, I'm starting to plan things out for scenery and stuff like that. So, stuff in that respect is getting a bit more attention right now on the bottom level. There. Now, if I was just building a tower, I'd be done. But I'm not. So, I gotta continue on and build the rest of this and see where this goes. But for now, I'm gonna put my tower up here. The only thing I don't like about using hot glue is all the little, I call them spider webs. It's all the stringy glue that comes off of things here. Not a fan. Okay, so where's my two sides? So these are the two side walls. And that goes like that. I need a long display case. Oh, James needs a long display case. Yeah, for his turbos. Hey, Russ, how's it going? I was at a friend's layout this afternoon, weathering ties on CNR layout based in Saskatchewan in 1947. Different era and prototype gives a whole new perspective. Yeah, it just, like just the era in general changes everything. Me, I'm not so much of a history buff myself, so that's probably why I prefer the modern stuff, because it's what's here now. That's my excuse. See? So that's the height of the front wall. Yeah, I think Via's still having issues with the chargers though, which could be problematic. So hopefully they sort that out soon. Great White North model layout tour. Nice. Another cool thing about hot glue is that it dries really quickly. Okay, so bringing back the tower. So it more or less goes like this. And what I'll probably have to do is I'm going to put the roof on and I'm going to attach all these. Sorry. I'm going to attach all these walls to it first. Just might have to bring this back a bit. Almost looks like a prison with the way this thing is sitting on top of here. Oh well. That's true. That's true. People said that I couldn't build a helix. They laughed at me. They told me it couldn't be done. They called me names like foamer, whatever that means. The only thing I can build is suspense. See what I did there? Back in the day. For stealing hearts. Okay, so I made an error. Yes, even I make errors. This is how you know I'm a human person. So I made this wall here a little too long. That's right. Just a little bit. But it should be okay. I just have to take off a teensy piece. Again, making sure you have a sharp knife, otherwise this would be real painful. And hopefully this works. I mean, it's a lot better. It's not quite there yet. I wonder if this is accurate. Oh, yeah, that's accurate. See? That fits. I did something right. Huh. Okay. Well, so far so good. Kinda. That just requires another teensy piece. Okay, that's like 1,000 times better. So I want to make sure that this is not too low, because this is just a roof here. And I'm just going to pin it. Mike is sculpting foam, which is very messy. I don't miss that. Has anybody ever used the expanding foam? It's like the spray, and then basically what happens is that you spray it down, and then after you spray it, it just kind of like foams up and turns into like a giant, you know, blob, I guess, at that point. It fills gaps really well. Yeah, I was thinking about it because it's like there's certain things that you can cut and put, you know, the regular extruded foam, but then there's other things like smaller hills and whatnot that you just kind of want to spray some foam down onto it and then let it naturally puff up and then just kind of shape it after. And I was wondering if that might be easier to do, but I'm yet to experiment with it. James is going to try it. Okay, you try it. Let me know how it goes. Model train reviews. Not the spray. I use on foam. Smooth on foaming. Huh. What's that stuff like? Because I'm open to suggestions, I guess. I mean, like, I don't mind pink foam. The extruded installation foam, like, that's what I've used on all my layouts. I'm just trying to think of an easier way to do certain things, More, could be cost effective, could be just a better look. Something I'd consider. Canadian Locomotive Logistics, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Don't get it anywhere. You don't want it. Very messy. Cut it with a hacksaw, but still need to go over it with plaster. Well, I'm a big fan of what's the stuff called? Sculptamold. I don't know if you guys have ever used Sculptamold, but I'm a big fan of it. It's like plaster, so you mix it with water, and then you can kind of shape it. Some of it is very thick, so you don't want to add too much water as well, because then it's too wet. But that, I find it's something that you have to put over the foam and put over your plaster. So I've done a lot of plaster cloth and the weaving with cardboard. I'm okay with that. it's very time consuming, and plaster cloth is very expensive. I find it to be expensive. It's it's not a cheap thing, right? Okay, so that looks pretty good. I've got a little lip along here. I didn't want to put it right at the top. I wanted a bit of a lip, so that's good. Hmm. Sculpt the mold is the bomb. Ah, so you're familiar with the sculpt? Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. They don't sell it everywhere though. Well, around me, I think there's like one place. I think. I've always wanted to try paper mache. Well, I mean, what like newspaper and glue water? There's a Canadian art supply. You can get a 25-pound box for $100. Oof. I'm used to getting those bags. I find that the bags, although depending on the area that you're trying to cover, right, you might end up going through it pretty quick. See, now this side I cut correctly. What's my problem? It was just the other side I cut incorrectly. I must have been doing something else at the time, and knowing me, I was probably doing 5 things at once. Because that sounds like something I would do. Get distracted. What's newspaper? Moving pictures? I can just get that little piece out of there. I told myself I would not mess up on this. I said, don't mess up. Balloons aren't round. Sorry, perfectly round like a sphere. In public school, we made Easter eggs by covering a balloon with string. Yeah, but the string you dip in the glue or whatever, or did you just? Yeah, that's probably. And then when it dries hard, and then you pop the balloon or something. We made masks out of paper mache. It was fine. What do people line their bird cages with now? Usually the part of the newspaper that covers the stock market. Wing and a miss. But Chris, you don't even have a bird. I know. Zing. Okay. So here's the main part of the building. I don't think it looks terrible. It's definitely not detailed. Yeah. But this is the measurement scaled down. So if it doesn't look cool, it's because that's the way the building looks. Can't blame me for that. Now when I add this part, not bad. Not bad at all. And that should hold that. So all I gotta do is go in here on the underside. Because that's a pretty tight fit, not gonna lie. I feel like I was precise with these measurements, except for that one I totally messed up on, which is totally contradictory of what's happened here today. But, yeah. I feel like I did a good job otherwise. Ooh. Ta-da. Okay. Key points here, not terrible. There's obviously still more to it, so I'm not really done yet. So, but this is technically the main portion of the building, and yeah. Let's see if this is very accurate here. So, 15 inches, 3 inches, 7 inches. So that's 25 inches. 25 and maybe 26, because there's a lot of and change to that. 20. Okay, so just under 26. It's about 25 and 3/4 of an inch. So not bad. Very, very accurate. That's 15. That's exactly 15 inches. This should be 7 and a little bit. No, 7 3/4. Yeah, that makes sense. And then this was like 3, a little bit more than 3. Yeah. All right, Sparky, you have yourself a great one. Everybody, make sure you go check out that video for Sparky's Canadian YouTube meet and greet. That's happening this August. The next part of this, because there is more. Oh, there's more. I'll push that back a little bit. Barbed wire fence? No. No. There's another building, and it's attached to this building, and it's like back here. And then there's a whole lot of vents and whatnot right in here. So let's see how long this is. I can do about three inches. So is this 6 inches? No. I could do about 2.5. Yeah, we can do 2. So we're 2.5. 2.5 would be right there. And I think that would be good. Okay. So I have to cut this piece here because I did make 2 wall pieces the exact same for absolutely no reason. And I only have so much of the stuff left. So this is what I plan to do. Hey Perry, how's it going? I'm not building a jail. It only looks like a jail. Perry, thanks again for the information on the reversing loop. Because I don't know if you saw the clip or not, but I got my reversing loop done, and I'm very happy about that. Why did those not look the same? Two and a half. Oh, huge difference there. Wow. Okay. I mean, this is somebody's prison, because it's like there's people that work here and maybe they don't like their job. I'm one of those people, but that's not where I work. So again, sharp knives make all the difference, guys, especially when dealing with foam core board. Now there are some kits. Russ is saying there, airport tower and terminal. I did see a lot of kits online that reference this kind of tower, and they are for airports. So airports have a very similar ordeal going on here. Just a little note for those of you, if anybody's planning on building an airport. Just an idea. Perry, did you get to go to the Lego show at all? My wife went to get tickets for the kids, like our kids today, and apparently they were all sold out, which I didn't know that could be a thing. I didn't know you could sell out of tickets to a Lego show. Who has the room for an airport? Have you seen Sparky's layout? You could have an airport, no problem. Maybe not like an international airport where, a big one, but like a local one, maybe a flying school, with a couple of hangars. I think you could totally see that. Condensed. Yeah. And it's really neat because like I've been talking with Denny a lot in regards to, building a layout because we're doing a lot of the same stuff here. He's building a layout, I'm building a layout. And we converse a lot about that and scale. And I was talking to him about how when I did N scale, I just couldn't get the scale of things correct because I'm so used to doing HO. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's like that. If anybody else has tried different scales before, if they've dabbled, if you will, in different scales. But when you're trying to get the scale of, let's say, a yard or an industry, and you're so used to doing an HO, when you try to do it in N scale, it seems totally off. And I'm pretty sure it's because you can add way more, and then the layout seems way empty because of the fact that you're trying to make all this extra room, which, you know. Anyways, I don't know if I'm the only one who has an issue with that, but you know, this is a safe space if anybody wants to share. Perry, did you have any issues with your new turbo? Yeah, it just so happens everything is happening today, and I had to work through all of it. So I was cheesed. Perry was uploading these videos about the club, and all I wanted to do was go and run some trains. And the sad part is, next month is the last get together for the season, I guess you could say, and it's on a weekend that I'm working as well. So I don't seem to win ever. And this comes just after getting accepted into the group or into the club. I got an email and they're like, "Congratulations, you're in." And I'm like, "Nice." And then I find out the next two setups, which is April and May, I'm working both weekends. I'm like, "Come on." Some kind of sick joke. The one flashing light on the end is not working right. Uh-oh. Oh, geez. Oh, am I out of glue sticks or are they just behind there? I think they're behind there. But I don't want to move that. So when I go to the dollar store, I get like 5 or 6 packs of these, which there's like 20 or something in each one. And I just stock up. That way I never really run out. At least I'm yet to run out. So I'm always refilling or restocking my supplies. It's great because then my kids, if they have projects and whatnot, they come to me and they're like, "Hey, you got glue sticks, right?" And I'm like, "Go on." And they're like, "Well, I need some glue sticks." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Great story. I'm tapping out. Keep up the good work. See y'all next chat. Don't forget, Eminem Rails is live on Thursday. And I know as a fact that he'll be opening up a box. I don't know what's in the box, so I'm excited to see what's in the box. What time? 8 o'clock. We're always live at 8 o'clock every Thursday night. So the first week, mind you, this is when I'm talking about Thursday nights, I'm talking about Third Rail Thursday. You see at the bottom of the screen there, scrolling. Every Thursday, Denny, Mark, and myself, 8 o'clock. And Denny is N Scale Dystopia. He's the first Thursday. I'm the second Thursday, and Mark is the third Thursday. And we've got GVO After Dark, which is the last Thursday of the month. And there's always one of us going live. Last club I was in, full of grumps and complainers, and they talked negatively about their spouses and girlfriends all evening. It was awkward and wore me down. Yeah, yeah, that could be, that's a buzzkill right there, But the club that I go to is definitely not like that. I think that there's going to be politics no matter what group you're part of, because there's always going to be that, well, I've been here longer, stuff like that. I'm yet to really encounter that with the club that I've been going to. They seem like a really great group of people. Mark goes sometimes. Perry goes all the time. He at least goes one of the days because it's set up on Friday and then tear down Sunday. And Perry usually goes at least one of the days. And then Bubs goes as well. And yeah, so when I'm working, I don't really get to go. So that's no problem. But I try to go as much as I can. And they just did a setup at the Ontario or the Ottawa Science Museum, Science and Technology Museum, which was for 5 weeks or so. And it was really cool because it was a massive layout and you could basically go whenever to run. Yeah, it's in Ottawa. Model train reviews. Are you far from Ottawa or? They're always looking for new members. Vancouver. So that's a bit of a walk, to the side of the country. But yeah, check out to see if there's a couple other ones in your area. It, they're not all like that. At least I'd hate to believe that they're all like that. And it's not the club; it's the people that make the club, right? Like these guys that are at the Ottawa club, they're really nice, and they've been more than welcoming. A lot of, and I say I'm a young guy, but I am 40, so I don't feel young. But in comparison to some of the older gentlemen, uh, they have been very welcoming, and they'll come up, they'll say, "Oh, you're new," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's my first day," even if I've gone several times already, and shake their hand, introduce them, just being good people, kind people, and that's the way it should be. We're we're in a club, we're in a brotherhood, in that whole scenario, whatever you want to call it. We're all there for the same reason. So, but a lot of those guys, they're friends. I've known them for a while. see, George Taylor goes to our club. I think he's part of two clubs. Uh, Josh from Rapido, he's part of our club too. And we don't treat him like, you know, oh, it's Josh from Rapido. And we ask him 50 million questions about Rapido. No. We treat him like everyone else, you know, which is the way it's supposed to be. Everybody gets mutual respect. We met once back at OVR last year. Trying to remember. I've met so many people over the years, and honestly, like, I'm in my 10th year of this whole, you know, YouTube thing, right? So you'll have to forgive me if I don't remember your face. But I mean, you know, I talk to a lot of people, even on the daily. There's people that reach out and ask questions, and so it's hard to keep track. And I'm already bad with names, so yeah, it's tough sometimes. I think I hit my head way too hard when I was a teenager. True story. Concussion, concrete. Although I was bad at names before that, so can't really, blame that completely. What are you doing at OVR? I mean, besides buying trains. I feel like whenever I'm in Otter Valley, I always see somebody I know. Usually Sparky hangs out there. That's his, like, when you're a teenager, you hang out at the mall, but when you're an adult, you hang out at OVR. It's like that situation. So this back building here is pretty cool. I'm just going to kind of show you. So there's this part of it, and then I'm going to put the roof on it, and then there's like a ventilation system or something on top here. And then there's air conditioning here, some piping. Some piping goes up here. Oh, you made the open house last year. Okay. Yeah, even last year, like that was the first time I met Denny face to face, and there was a few other people. I'm like, you look familiar. And then there's the people that I talk to online all the time. Uh, Mentioning names off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to, but yeah, just people in general, and they come up and they're like, "Hey, Chris, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Shoot, I know your name. I know your name. Where do I know you from?" It's either Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Other than that, I'm in my basement like 90% of the time. But yeah, it's tough to remember. Um, Speaking of open house, I don't know if Lauren is doing an open house this year, but we've got that YouTube meet and greet that's happening at the end of August. I should have a bag to open. I should have a bag to open. Did you want me to open that bag now? Because I've already opened it. I can talk about it. I don't mind. Because it was a cool bag. But yeah, they're doing the open house, not open house. I don't know if Lauren's doing an open house this year, but we've got the YouTube meet and greet that's at the end of August, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. I'm gonna do the roof on this, and then yeah, yeah. Well, and here's the other thing: a lot of people are shy, and I get that. If I so funny story. So I'm kind of awkward sometimes, especially in person. Simply just because I'm trying to think of your name or trying to think of where I know you from. So while all that silence is happening, I probably have a stupid look on my face. But when I was working the Otter Valley booth in Springfield this past year, two gentlemen came up and they were looking at some stuff. And who are you? Who are you? No, the last thing I say is, who are you? Um, so I didn't know how to break the ice. And again, I'm very awkward. And I knew who the gentleman was. Couldn't think of his name for the life of me, though, because that's what happens when you're put on the spot. And I'm like, hey, I know you. I see you in every Walters video imaginable. I love your work. And it was Dana. And he's always doing the Product Express. And that's how I knew him. And yeah, and I got talking to the two Walters guys, and turns out they knew who I was just from tagging them in like my builds. Like when I build a Walters, um, when I built like a Walters kit, I'll tag them when I've done whatever, like custom work or something on it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's a Walters kit, just in case anybody's wondering. I don't ever bug them by like Walters, 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 repeato, repeato. No, I'll tag them if it's their product. And yeah, so it was very nice to meet them, but I was like kind of starstruck at the same time, so it was kind of neat. And I think because he gets it a lot, he's like, yeah, yeah, that was me. Hopefully this fits. Yeah, I'm gonna make that fit. I don't even care. Nice. That kind of worked out. There's a sign. Yeah, yeah, literally, eh? But it's so cool to get to meet these people that you see on YouTube. I think that's where I was originally going with this. Um, and people recognize you and whatnot. And the best thing you can do, though, when you go up to somebody, especially if you know them but they don't or might not know you, because of the fact that, let's say, you don't advertise yourself on these socials or whatnot, is to introduce yourself and say, oh, I follow you on this platform, and you know, Tammy and Ray. I got to meet them a couple of times, Springfield this past year and last year as well. Always nice to see them. Up until then, I was just watching their videos, their layout updates. I remember when it was just the shelf, and then they eventually expanded to the 4x8 castle, and I saw that one being built. Very awesome. I'm telling you, you get to meet so many cool and interesting people doing this. Oh, come on, glue stick. Don't fail me now. if I ever get a chance to do a layout update, I'll put this on the layout where I'm going to put it. And then you can tell me how bad it looks, and then I'll do my best to change it. Spider webs. See, I'm telling you, this is the only thing I don't like about hot glue. These damn stringy things. Okay, we're good though. We're good. Now this is supposed to be a long building, but because of the fact that it's going into the wall, right? It loses a bit of that. So what you lose in depth, you basically kind of have to make up for it with a lot of detail. And when you add the detail in and around it, it'll make all the difference. Wondering, so this is the same height as the front. No, maybe it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Proof that it was only $2. $2. Now, if the back of this needs more support, I can for sure, kind of do this, but I'd sooner put it under. Mind you, this section here goes to about here, and then that's supposed to continue on that way. So I don't know if I want to, because isn't that, so 12, so 10.28 inches. So it was really supposed to be about that deep. So I'm missing about 5 inches from that. So probably putting this on is not the best idea. I'd like to put something on the backside to support it, just so it doesn't cave in. But again, it's not really a huge deal. Another thing would be the ventilation system on the top of this other building. And the other key thing that I would want to do with this is that I wouldn't put this right onto the layout flat. If I'm doing this like it's a module, I'm going to take a piece of the masonite and I'm going to cut it to the shape of the area to which I want this to go on. And then what I'll do is I will scenic it. I will glue this to that. That way, if I do move, I can lift it up, take it with me, and no harm, no foul, right? So this will be something that I can use on another layout, or maybe someone will be like, oh, can I buy that from you? Because, it looks cool and I like foam core board a lot, or whatever. So is this cover real estate now and add details later? Yeah, basically. This is just temporary a temporary build. I wanted to see if I can make it work before I put in all the the styrene and all that. I can find a thin enough styrene that I can do this up, cut out the windows, and this will add enough structural stability that I can just paste the styrene to this and then add all the details, paint it and whatnot, and make it look a little bit better. But I'd have to cut out a long section here and here to put windows. and then several sections here, but I can cover over it with a thin enough styrene that I can make it believable. On a side note, I'd like to do a live show with someone having coffee with friends, talking trains. That'd be cool. What if you don't like coffee, though? Because I could do a totally good live show where I drink coffee, but I'm like, this is gross. Or do I still have to drink this? Or I talk about it like it is coffee, and we switch it for hot chocolate. Because that'd be my speed. Whiskey. Oof. Depends on which brand. Hot glue is definitely not a person. Yeah. I mean, presentation wise, you cannot see any hot glue, which, that's what I was going for. As long as you don't see the hot glue, then you're good. And I think that I've established that here. I've made it work well, I guess. So I'll be able to put this on the layout as a placeholder and, kind of make this the background building. Just for now, anyways. The problem with this is that when it comes to doing kits like this and scratch builds, it's a lot of humming and hawing over, this whole ordeal, right? A lot of companies make really good detail parts as well, roof details, piping, stuff like that. Um, you know, and it's stuff like that that you can add to this to really bring it to life. Um, yeah, so I could totally see myself doing that. In regards to adding lighting, because I believe there was a question about lighting, I could add lighting to this. Whoa, totally dropped that. Oh my god. Butterfingers. Okay. So there's a hole back here, and there's like a little, I don't know what this is all about here. It's probably for a light, but I can attach a light on the inside here to light up this and then run it through here, obviously, and then down inside the building, which would be cool. Then right near the building as well, there would have to be, I think Walthers makes them. Walthers makes those antennas for yards, for the remote controlled, slug sets and all that. What are they called? Yeah, the remote controlled trains, battery pack operated trains. There you go. I thought I remembered that all by myself. Have you seen the Lance Mindheim method of photos of actual structures from Google Earth? He then prints them out onto photo paper, then attached to the core of the structure. Huh. I think that depending on the actual structure and where the structure is located, it could very well be doable. But with the way that Google Earth looks at this building, so if you're the camera, you're basically looking at it like that from the highway. Because the trains go this way, and then the bridge goes this way. And yeah, you can eventually get, when you go down the highway enough, you can see this part of the building and the entire back section. But at no point are you looking at it dead on, like, the front of it like this, where you can photo capture a wall or whatever. That'd be cool though. But like, yeah, buildings down the street. If you're driving down the street, you can basically turn your camera and look at it like that, and you can get a good photo of it. That's cool. I've seen people do that. Same thing with just taking photos for backdrops as well, right? That's where they come from. People take scenic shots and then they print them out and then use them as backdrops. I'm up for hot chocolate. Hot chocolate with sea salt caramel. Russ, what are you doing, man? You're killing me here. It's all about hot chocolate with mint. Mint hot chocolate. Reminds me of Christmas. I'm going to unplug that because I think that I'm done with the hot glue for now. That was kind of the extent of the building. I pre-cut everything so that I'm not stressfully cutting this thing live, right? Because I think that'd be a disaster, except for the couple of small minor cuts that I had to do here and there. But I wanted to just show you guys a different type of kit build. In this case here, it's a custom build that I'm basically doing myself, opposed to these other kits that I do, which are made by Walthers and ITLA and whatnot. And then, if Anthony's still here, Anthony Borden, because Anthony sent me this kit here. And when you look at Google Earth, this is a little wood kit. When you look at Google Earth, right where this is, okay, there's 2 tracks, and then after the 2 tracks, there's a little shed here, and it's painted mostly black and red with a bit of white, like CN. And it's just some little, I think it's like a maintenance shed or something. Either way, that's where it's going to go on the yard, in like a little section up front, but very close to this. The fun part, and I use the word fun loosely here, is that there's a lot of telephone poles and whatnot going through the yard, and then like to the building and whatnot. So when I add the detail stuff, when I add all that, it's going to hopefully be not too difficult, but add a lot of realism. But whenever I do stuff like this, painting it and whatnot is very difficult because I don't paint my buildings in the winter because I can't build them, or I can't paint them indoors. Not like when I used to. At my old house, we had a workshop. I could spray in there and it'd be good. But here, there's no real workshop. So unfortunately, I have to do all my spray painting outside in the summer. At least until I get the little handheld one. What are they called? Airbrush? Yeah, airbrush. But yeah, it's a cool little kit here as well. And I'm going to paint that up, and it'll look really good right across from it there with some tracks going. And it'll be perfect. I might get some like little CN something or other here to go with it. It'll be fun. So then, now, what was it? James, how long ago was it? Was it like a week? It was probably like a week or two. I know it was near the beginning of the month. I think it was like the 3rd. So almost 2 weeks ago. James came by because he was in town, and he left me with a bag of stuff, which includes a poster. I don't want to open the. Do I want to open? Yeah, I'll open the poster. I'll show you guys. I just don't want to ruin it because it's a good poster. So when he went to, I think it was an open house that Rapido did, they were giving these away, and they're all numbered. And this is really cool. This now I wasn't downtown Toronto when this was going on, like the fishbowl bus, but after high school, which was early 2000s, um, I was always going downtown Toronto to do record shopping because I used to DJ. And what's in the back here is Sam the Record Man, which is uh, it was a very huge store, and I still remember when they closed, and I got to go to the closing event uh, be, because yeah, they had a huge sale to basically clear out everything because they were closing forever. Very sad, very sad. Uh, and yeah, and like I went down every other weekend to go record shopping and do whatever other shopping, you know, because there's a bunch of cool skateboard shops down in Toronto as well. So I'd be down by Much Music, and you guys remember Much Music when it was actually like good? But yeah, so this is number 158 out of 360 prints, which is really cool. But I gotta get a frame for this. I don't have any of the TTC buses, but I do have this bus as a Go bus, so that's kind of cool too. IKEA. Yeah, I gotta figure out the size of that, and then I'll swing by IKEA. He also included in the bag. I put it in my display case, James. Okay, here we go. Well, this little guy here, and it says Bell Systems on it, which is pretty cool because I do work for Bell Canada, and it's a little road switcher by Mantua. That was very nice of him to throw that at me and the poster. So that's pretty cool. James, do you remember if this works? What do I got to do to get this thing going? I know it's probably just DC. It's not like DCC and sound, but I'm afraid to even take this thing out of here. Oh my gosh. How does this come out? Oh, there we go. Okay. I figured it out. It's heavy. Oh my gosh. Very cool. Got the little horn. And it says Bell Systems on it. Can't remember if it ran. I mean, this thing is it's pretty old. So if it doesn't ran, then you know it's understandable because it'd be showing its age, right? I have I have a locomotive that's older than me, which I don't know if this one's older than me as well. Bell Telephone, Plymouth Diesel. Yeah, that's neat. That's nicer than any gift Bell has given me for working for them for over 10 years. I think it's close to 13 now, but you know what I mean. Yeah, way to go, James. Thanks. Do you think Bell would give me one of those? Early 70s. Oh, wow. Bell, I did not know that. We should chat sometime. Oh yeah, I've got horror stories. I take it that your ex Bell, the U.S. Bell colors. Yeah, probably. I'm not sure how much Bell has changed over the years, but for me, it's always been red and white. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Bell Telephone, that could be a U.S. locomotive. I'm not sure though. It's hard to say. But I did want to thank James and shout him out for that because that's some pretty cool stuff. I really like that poster, so I'm gonna have to get a frame and maybe hang it in here. Or I wish I had an office. Well, this is an office, but I mean like an office, like a nice office um, that I could hang nice pictures in, but I don't. Oh well. Let's see. Well, it's 9:30, and I really just I wanted to pop on to do this build and show you guys, and I've done that, and I think it turned out pretty good. So next time you see this, it will be on the layout, and hopefully I'll be able to do a layout update soon for you guys, just to kind of show you guys where I'm at. But for now, of course, I've got a bunch of little things on the go, and I have to start wiring my yard because only both ends of the yard are wired more or less. I just have to do all of the in between, but it's like 16 feet of in between that I have to wire. And I'm still short, like, I think I need 7 more pieces of flex track to finish my yard completely, except for the diesel shop area, which I haven't even planned out yet. So that'll be fun. That'll be over the course of the next few months that I'll be doing that and planning that out. I do have a couple of unboxings and reviews coming up, very special. I'm not going to tell you what exactly they are, but I can tell you that if you are looking for some amazing Canadian products, and if you're in Canada and buying from the US is a little bit more right now, with things going on, and you want to buy locally and you want to buy, some really good products still, you're going to want to stick around and check out these next couple of videos that I'm going to put out, because I'll be reviewing some brand new product from one of my favorite manufacturers. And that's all I'm going to say for now. I want you guys to have yourselves a great rest of your weekend. Go run some trains. Go build a kit. Whether it's cardstock or a Walther's kit or whatever. Have fun. Enjoy the hobby. And don't forget, Monday night, James and Mike will be live at 7 o'clock. And then next Thursday, we'll be over on Eminem Rails channel, Thursday night at 8 o'clock. You guys have yourselves a great night, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you real soon.